Gojo vs Itachi versus battle. Gojo 6 Eyes vs Itachi of the Sharingan. Both Gojo and Itachi are geniuses from elite families. Satoru Gojo is the pride of the Gojo family. He inherited the Limitless, and he's also the first person in 400 years to inherit an S-tier broken ability called the 6 Eyes. You just can't get any higher than this. While Itachi was revered, wise enough to think like a Hokage at age 7, he was a genius and an Uchiha who awakened the Mangekyou Sharingan. Their personalities may differ, and you definitely can't call Itachi the pride of the Uchiha clan, like you can call Gojo the pride of the Gojo family. But there's something to be said about the power of their eyes, and that's what we'll be talking about in this video. Starting from their personalities, their abilities, their eyes, and then finally, the level of competence they have displayed in their own respective stories. Alright, so grab some soda and sit tight. Things are about to get very interesting. There will be spoilers, so you've been warned. First, let's start with their backgrounds. When Gojo was born, the balance of powers in the world shifted, and a massive bounty was placed on his head by those who wanted him dead. Basically, there are 3 families in the world who hold the most power over the Jujutsu society. We have the Gojo family, the Zenin family, and the Kamo family. All 3 of these families have descended from the big 3 vengeful spirits. They try their best to gain more power and political influence than their rivals. But with the birth of Gojo Satoru, things changed. The reason behind this is the 6 Eyes. Yes, while Limitless is a pretty cool ability that most members of the Gojo family can inherit, 6 Eyes is a different deal altogether. Revered as the most powerful jujutsu in the world, it allows a member of the Gojo family to use Limitless to its full potential and essentially become able to use infinity as well. Gojo went on to become the most powerful sorcerer alive and single-handedly placed his family at the top of the hierarchy. Itachi, on the other hand, was born as a member of the legendary Uchiha clan. Growing up, he saw the Third Great Ninja War and the night when Kurama went on a rampage. At age 7, he was already thinking like a Hokage. At age 8, he graduated from the academy and also mastered Sharingan quickly after awakening. He then joined Anbu Corps, and at age 11, as the youngest member ever, and then also awakened Mangekyou Sharingan because of Sushi's sacrifice. We all know what happened next, and how, at age 13, Itachi massacred his own clan to avoid further conflict. I find this quite poetic, to be honest. While Gojo Satoru furthered the legacy of the Gojo family, Itachi tried to end it, with the exception of his brother, of course. Next, we're going to talk about their abilities and the broken things they can do with their eyes. And let's be honest, both the 6 Eyes and the Sharingan can do some pretty hardcore stuff. Starting with Gojo. He is the strongest character in the series, even stronger than the King of Cursors. And that's not just because of his 6 Eyes. Gojo has amped up all of his basic stats like strength, stamina, speed, and battle intellect. He's also a master at general hand-to-hand combat. Then you have his cursed energy. Considering how he was born with both the Limitless and 6 Eyes, Gojo's disposition is naturally blessed with excessive cursed energy. Due to some training, he was able to figure out a way to use the infinity at all times. And while most can only use their domain expansion as the trump card, he can use it multiple times a day. He can also use reverse curse technique to heal himself. Not many people can do it, but Gojo was able to learn it after nearly dying because of a fight against Toji. There's also Black Flash, which is another learned skill. This is what Todo taught Yuji during the Goodwill event. Gojo can do it too. And as for the nature of this ability, it's about increasing the potency of your attack 2.5 times by applying cursed energy to it within 1/1,000,000th of a second. Complex math? Yeah, I know, but we've only begun. Next, we'll talk about the things Gojo inherited from his bloodline, the Limitless and the 6 Eyes. To put it simply, Limitless is a base technique which allows the user control over space. This technique can then be used to do even more cool stuff, such as infinity, if you have the 6 Eyes as well. Speaking of infinity, it's a cheat code that allows Gojo to slow someone down to the point that they can never reach him. The more you try to approach him, the slower you get. It's impossible to speed through the infinity because, well, it's by definition infinite. Even if you're only 1 inch away from him, the infinite amount of finite spaces that exist between you and him will continue to slow you down until you feel as though you've literally stopped in time and space. Also, using the Limitless as the foundation, Gojo can use Curse Technique Red and Curse Technique Blue. Red enables him to push everything away, while Blue pulls everything to him. Exactly. Gojo can freestyle magnetism the way he wants. Another application of the Limitless is a hollow technique called Purple. It's kind of like Hokage from Dragon Ball Super in the sense that it allows him to erase matter out of existence. Seriously, do not try this at home, kids. Naturally, all of this is only possible thanks to the 6 eyes. The 6 eyes are what gave him such extraordinary perceptions that he can use the Limitless the way he can. The general implication is that the 6 eyes give the user the understanding and the perception of the world in terms of mass, speed, and energy. So maybe what Gojo can see is a more nuanced and scientifically labeled version of reality? Finally, let's talk about the Infinite Void, which is Gojo's domain expansion. Using this, he can create a metaphysical space where the opponent is cursed with experiencing all sense of stimuli and information endlessly and instantly. But if you're doing everything, are you really doing something? It comes to a point where seeing and hearing everything makes you feel nothing. So if you're brought into this domain and you're his opponent, you're done. As talked about before, Gojo's control is unparalleled. He can use this domain multiple times a day and for however long he wants, even if that's less than a second. Alright, enough about Gojo and his 6 eyes. Let's talk about Itachi and his Sharingan. Itachi is widely regarded as a genius. The way he became a Chunin at the age of 9 and then a member of the Anbu Corps at 11 are a testament to how everything about him was beyond average. Be it ninjutsu or taijutsu or battle intellect, Itachi was on the same level as the strong adults, if not more. He was well accustomed to nature releases like wind, water, yin, yang, and especially fire, since, he's from the Uchiha bloodline. Though what really makes him stand out is his Jinjutsu specialization. Having seen the brutalities of war from back when he was old enough to see, Itachi grew up to have a pacifist perception of the world. He'd rather his battles end before they begin, which is why he uses Jinjutsu to psychologically destroy his opponents. Most of his opponents don't even realize what happened before they lost. We'll talk more about this in a minute. For now, let's see what the Sharingan can do. The Sharingan is similar to the 6 eyes in the sense that it gives the user a higher, more defined perception of the world. He can see chakra flow, predict movements, and enhance his Jinjutsu simply because of the Sharingan. If you're also a Jinjutsu user and you fight Itachi, he can easily turn your own Jinjutsu against you. This then brings us to Izanami. This is what Itachi used when he trapped Kabuto in an endless loop of fate, essentially allowing Itachi to decide his destiny. Although it does come at the cost of losing sight in that Sharingan forever. It exists as a counter to Izanagi, which is what Danzo abused during his fight against Sasuke. Izanami allows one to decide destiny. Izanagi enables one to alter it. And next, we have Itachi's Mangekyou Sharingan. He awakened it after seeing Shisui's death and quickly became exponentially more capable than he ever was. With the Mangekyou Sharingan, Itachi could burn anything and everything using his right eye. This is what you call Amaratasu, and it could burn fire itself. However, the Amaratasu isn't nearly as dangerous as Itachi's Tsukuyomi. It's like a domain expansion in a way, except it goes on for a bit longer than the domain expansion. Using this, Itachi traps the victim's mind in an illusory world where he inflicts unimaginable pain and suffering upon them. I'm sure Kakashi still has PTSD from back when he experienced Itachi's Tsukuyomi, but it doesn't have to be all bad though. For example, he cast Tsukuyomi Asumi Oshua, where they both had a wonderful life, and she died of old age. After Tsukuyomi, we have Itachi's Susanoo. What's special about Itachi's Susanoo is how it wields both the Sword of Tatsuka and the Yata Mirror. The Tatsuka sword is a blade capable of sealing just about anyone if it manages to pierce them. This is what Itachi used to seal Orakaimaro. And the Yata Mirror is a shield that can instantly change the nature of an incoming attack and reflect it. If Itachi so chooses to use both the Tatsuka blade and the Yata Mirror, he is pretty much invincible. But the problem is, he can't. Unlike Gojo, whose loss of energy is infinitely small, Itachi's abilities come at a cost. Every time he uses the Mangekyou, he loses a little bit of his eyesight. Not to mention the large amounts of chakra these abilities require to begin with. No wonder Madara wanted the tailed beast. It's all about the chakra supply. Alright folks, these were the abilities and the capabilities of Gojo Satoru and the Itachi Uchiha. I wouldn't recommend messing with either of them, but how do you think they'd fare against each other? Who's your winner? Go wild in the comment section with your thoughts and ideas. I'm excited to read them. As always, like and subscribe to the channel for free cookies. Share this video with your friends and see what they've got to say. Well then, with that said, I'll see you guys on my next video.